Hey, all right, guys. Happy New Year to everyone. This is James Donaldson, Standing Above the Crowd podcast, coming to you from Rainier Avenue Radio right here in beautiful downtown Seattle. Also, I am the executive director of Your Gift of Life Foundation. See my big new logo behind me here? And that's all about helping folks with mental health awareness and suicide prevention, which I do a great deal of work with. And that's really what I focus on most of the time. But this is a new year. This is 2026, and it's only a weekend. Boy, a lot of things have been happening. We live in a whirlwind time, and the news just keeps on coming. But before we dive into our show today, I do want to read a couple of quick announcements for you. They make the font awfully small, or maybe I'm getting a little bit older. Let me put my specs on and get to it here. All right. Want to make more community broadcasts like this possible? Donate right now at Venmo to @Rainier Avenue Radio or online at rainieravenueradio.world/donate through Shuren Pike. And thank you for helping broadcast community voices. Okay. This is a great platform. I've been with it for, almost a year now. We've done 20, 30 shows, and this has just been fantastic for me. So thank you so much for that. You see the panel up on the screen there. So go ahead and take that information down. Donate today to help support community radio broadcasts like this. Okay, back to the show. Again, my name is James Donaldson. I've been hosting this wonderful podcast all year long, Standing Above the Crowd. And it's all about, just helping folks out with life and health and wealth and, all kind of different things in life, business things that you might want to get into. And so I've got a great guest today. He just sent me a text that his screen froze up. So he'll try to log back in. Okay, Daniel, you're looking at that? I see the text on the side of the screen. He just left. Now he's going to come back in probably with another. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and get started, okay? Patrick, I hope you can make it on the show, and if not, I'll go ahead and wing it, but we do need to hear your voice as well. My guest today, award-winning, best-selling author, my personal friend, and my book coach. He's a best-selling author himself of several books throughout the last 20 years. Patrick Snow, Creating Your Own Destiny is the name of his series of books that he's been putting out over the years, because we really do have control over so much of what we do in life, and we can create our destiny of how this life is going to turn out. So anyway, it looks like he's back in. Daniel, is Patrick getting ready to join us? So anyway, Patrick is going to join us today, and he is going to talk about a lot of things we can do in this new year. We all start out with the best intentions. I was at the gym the other day, and boy, the place is packed. Everyone is trying to get that New Year's resolution in, drop those 20, 30 pounds. And statistics show by mid-February, they're off to something else, okay? And that's just kind of our human nature. You have to really be dedicated to setting a goal and sticking with it as long as you possibly can. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you today about a little bit. Patrick's going to join in when he does get in, and he'll add a lot of things. He's got a lot of great lessons. He's done a lot of life coaching along these lines to help people set goals, help them achieve them, help them sustain them, and keep on marching towards what they want to be in this new year. But anyway, I set out a new year myself. I don't like to say resolution. I resolve every day to try to be a little bit better than yesterday. But, I want to get my financial situation back in place again. I talked to you last week just a little bit about how I lost all my life savings. I mean, my NBA savings of, hundreds of thousands of dollars that just evaporated. I mean, I used it. It was my choice to spend it all on my business to try to keep it going as long as I could. Ended up having to go through a bankruptcy, which is still, 5, 6 years later. So almost getting out from underneath that. but I don't have any disposable income like I used to. And so that's what I really want to work on, and make sure that I can get back to that place where I can have a month or 2 or 3 of income, amount saved in reserve. They talk about the average person, if they had to write a $500 check, $800 check, couldn't do it right now. So times are hard for everybody, not just me, not just any of y'all listening out there, but for everybody. Times are kind of tough. I'm a retiree now. I'm a Social Security recipient. And so I get my little Social Security check, I get my little NBA pension, and a little bit of income from the speaking engagements that I do. And that kind of does help, but still, I'm skimming by. I'm not really adding and building wealth and adding to my overall nest egg, which is what I want to do in this coming year. And I know how I'm going to do it. Patrick's working with me, a matter of fact, to help me do that as well. Looks like Patrick is in and he is ready to go. There's my man, Patrick Snow. Hey, man, how you doing? Yes, a returning champion.
Hey, thrilled to be here. I don't know about the technology issues, but glad that we're on and we're all good. So great to see you again, James.
That's great. That's great, man. Happy New Year to you, by the way.
You too.
I was just kind of giving an overview of my goals for this year is to kind of rebuild my financial nest egg, my situation, to give me 2 or 3 months of income amount in the bank that I can kind of have some padding. Most of us, if we had to write an $800 check, we couldn't do it right now. Most of us in this country. That's where a lot of us are, and so that's my goal. But I know you have a lot of exercises that you want to share with the audience today about how to create a goal, how to sustain it. I was teasing the folks that, I was in the gym a couple of days ago and the place was packed. Everybody.
Just wait till April or May. It'll be empty again.
Well, statistics show by mid-February even, so we're getting a shorter window.
Yeah, absolutely.
But welcome on board, Patrick. I gave a nice little glowing review of your work and who you are, but why don't you go ahead and take it away? Give a little quick intro yourself of who you are, the work you've been doing, and how you can help us here today with today's topic.
Well, thank you, James. It's an honor to be here. And I'm an author, a speaker, a coach. Grew up an athlete, football, basketball, tennis, baseball. Became a quote junkie in college. I started reading all kinds of books on personal growth and development. Og Mandino, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Dr. Stephen Covey. And I just became thirsty for this information. And I realized that the world is kind of split in two. And that's about 95% of the people have given up. They've given up on their life. They've given up on their dreams. And maybe it's 90-10. But the point of it is a vast majority have just cashed in their chips and they're looking forward to or experiencing a life of mediocrity. And then there's the other 10% of us that are predetermined our destiny, that are setting goals. And one of the things you asked me about is my philosophy on goal setting. And I always tell people this, that if you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up someplace else. I firmly believe this quote that we got to think it, ink it, believe it, and achieve it. And what I mean by that is think about your dreams, goals, and visions. Ink them into print, believe in yourself, and over time you will achieve it. And on my website, I've got all kinds of goal setting sheets and whatever. But people always ask me, Patrick, can you just share with me the single greatest goal setting tip? And I want to share that today as we begin, and then we can kind of take it from there. And that is, obviously, in a banking corporate world, we have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So 4 quarters in a fiscal year. We also have 4 quarters in our personal life, January through March, April through June, August through whatever, September, and then the last 4th quarter. So what I encourage my clients to do is to get out a sheet of paper, put an X in the middle, and then have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, which stands for January, February, March, April, May, June, and the next 3 months, and the next 3 months. And then all I want my clients to do is 1 goal per as basically, you basically, in that Q1, you write out 5 goals a month. So in that Q1, there'll be 15 goals. And these can be health and wellness goals. They can be weight loss goals. They can be nutrition goals, exercise, monetary goals, whatever they are. And if you do the math And if you do just 5 goals a month, assuming that there's like 4.5 months per week, that's really just 1 goal a week. If we had 5 goals in a month and we focused on 1 a week and did whatever it took to achieve that goal, then all of a sudden you get your highlighter out, and as soon as you achieve that goal, you highlight it. And then you highlight the next one. Maybe put a check mark in front of it. And that builds confidence for the next one, and then check. And all of a sudden you're now January, February, March, and you've got 15, 18 pretty major goals. And now it's coming spring, and you go from there. And the whole point of it is it's okay if you miss a goal here or there, but had you not set those goals, you're going to be great. So in a perfect world, I'd like you to get 12 out of 15 done. That's 4 a month, but shoot for 5. And when you do that, things will happen.
Wow. No, that's very good, helpful work. But, we're all so busy now. And a lot of us are multitasking like crazy. So when you set up a goal for 1 week of, okay, I'm going to hit the gym and get myself back in shape. What about all these other things that we want to do in life? How do we block that out, at least for the week, so we can focus on this one particular goal?
Well, we have to ask ourselves, as we look at our day, as we look at our schedule, is this productive time or is this entertainment time? And I think it was Brian Tracy who said the problem with Americans is we are so hooked on being entertained that we don't spend much time on education. So he calls it edutainment, meaning that it's okay to have some entertainment, but as long as you have the education, you're there as well. So maybe scrolling social media for an hour a day is good, but watching 4 hours of Facebook videos every night is not good. Maybe watching a Netflix movie once a week is good, but not 4 hours of Netflix every single night. So at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves that, we can make more money. You can always earn more money, but you can't earn more time. So what are we going to do with this precious gift of the time that we have? And when in doubt, choose an activity that supports the goals. You've been doing your goal work all day long and you got all kinds of things done and you're making progress and you want to sit back and watch a Facebook video for a few hours an hour, then that's okay. If you want to listen to a podcast when you're working out, that's great because you're multitasking. But at the end of the day, we have to develop what Les Brown calls a no matter what mentality. No matter how I feel, I'm going to work out. No matter if I have a sore knee or a bad back, I'm going to go to the gym. No matter how hungry I am, I'm going to skip dessert. No matter whether I feel like working out or not, I'm still going to go out and walk a mile. So you predetermine in your mind that no matter what, I'm going to do it. And that's what discipline is all about. So what we need to focus on is not so much on our goals. We need to focus on our discipline because our discipline takes us to the end to the achievement of our goals.
Very good, very good. For us that are, we have that disciplined athletic mindset anyway. You and I do, for sure. But a lot of people don't, okay? And they find themselves just kind of floating along with life and not really quite figuring out what's next. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine earlier today. And a lot of women in my age group, 60s, 70s or so, they've spent all their years of being the wife, the mother, the caregiver, the nurturer, taking care of the elderly parents and taking care of the kids and the grandkids. They find themselves at 60, 65, 70, not really knowing who they are or what's important anymore or how to prioritize, how to find their passion. Yeah. Any tips on helping out those kind of folks?
Well, first off, we got to put the oxygen mask on ourselves first because we've got to practice self-care. We got to breathe in our own oxygen. And as parents and adults, we're spending so much time taking care of everybody else, we oftentimes don't take care of ourselves. Number 2, if we're to do that, we need to get in the best shape that we can. And for years from stage, I've been talking about this Destiny diet. And everybody says, what's the Destiny diet? I lost 25, 30 pounds on it. It's so easy. And by the way, make certain that you talk to a physician, a doctor, a nutritionist before you do it. But it's only 3 things. Number 1, drink water, nothing but water. Right? Okay. No Powerade, Gatorade, this aid, that aid, Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, Pepsi, fruit drinks, energy drink, whatever else. We can't drink our calories. Yeah. So water is God's medicine. And by the way, if we're in a bathtub, and we have a power outlet and the hair dryer falls into it, we're going to get an electric shock because
Right.
water is a conductor of energy. So when you
Mm.
fill your body with only water without the
Yeah.
sugar, you'll be amazed at how much energy you have and how much weight you lose. So that's number one, water and only water. Number two, if it comes in a box, don't eat it. If it comes from the ground, eat it. So go
Mm.
down the outside of the grocery store. So if it's a God-made food, eat it. If it's a
Mm.
man-made food, don't eat it. So we're talking meat, potatoes, eggs, fruits, vegetables, all of those things. I heard somebody else say that. If you have an ingredients label on your food, you
Yeah.
shouldn't eat it. Because when you get a sweet potato from the grocery store, there's not a big, thing on here with 15 ingredients. It's a sweet potato. And then
That's
it's
right.
chicken. And then it's eggs. And there's none of these chemicals. So if there's any ingredients in the food, don't eat it. So
Mm.
eat God-made food, not man-made food. And then
Wow.
find number 3, walk 1 hour every day. I don't care if you walk in the shower, walk in a gym, walk on a treadmill, walk, bike, swim, just do exercise 1 hour every day. And when you
Great.
do that, you'll be amazed at how much weight you can lose. And then as athletes, you and I, our whole life we've been doing this, but there's a lot of people that maybe didn't get to play in the NBA or didn't have a college football back injury at the end of their career. So I watched my uncle. He gets up, he's 85 years old, gets up at the crack of the dawn and goes to the YMCA every morning at 4:30.
Wow.
And I'm like, Brent, what are you doing, Uncle Brent? He said, I'm an FTA. I said, what's an FTA? And he said, I'm a finely tuned athlete. And so
At
ever
85.
since I heard that, I'm a finely tuned athlete. I'm going to go exercise. So my point of it is once you get your body in a place where you get some energy, now you ask yourself, what is it that you love to do? Where would you travel to the end of the world to serve and help all communities? Zig Ziglar said it best. He said, you can have everything in your life that you want as long as you help enough other people get what they want. So in what area do you like to serve others? And whatever that service is, that becomes your passion.
No, that's wonderful, wonderful. You mentioned putting the oxygen mask on ourselves, taking care of ourselves first. Any other tips on how to let go of all this drama in our lives and kind of separate ourselves from some of it? So many of us get wrapped up in it because, I don't know, maybe we get addicted to it in a way, or we just feel like we need it, but it's just needless energy we're spending. And how do we get that separation?
Well, one of my all-time favorite speakers in the movies was Matt Foley from Saturday Night Live.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
My name is Matt Foley, and I'm a motivational speaker, and I live in a van down by the river.
That's right.
The point of it is, two things. I don't remember who said the thing. First one is you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. So if you hang out with a bunch of alcoholics, drug addicts, gamblers, pornographers, people that are into sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and there's nothing wrong with the rock and roll, but maybe we got to go light on the other 2, then we're going to end up being an alcoholic, homeless, a drug addict or whatever else. And it was Robert Kiyosaki who said that your network becomes the size of your net worth. So your net worth is determined by the makeup of your network. So if you always find yourself the most successful person in the room, you might be in the wrong room. So we need to level up. We need to set boundaries. We need to say no to all these tasks. And we need to hang out with people like James Donaldson. Hang out with other people that will lift us up. And a rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah. Wow. That's fantastic. I saw your comment to me about my Facebook post a couple of days ago. I went to go visit my friend in the hospital. There's old saying at church, I've been down so long, getting up ain't even crossed my mind. And that's where my friend Joe is. He's been down so long, getting up doesn't even cross his mind.
Yeah.
A lot of folks are like that, though, out there. And how do you get started? That first baby step of feeling like life is worth living. That's what I told him. I said, Joe, life is worth living. Well, I almost threw mine away.
Yeah.
So I know. But what do you think?
I think the challenge is all of us, if given the opportunity, we can do, oh, me, poor me. This happened to me. I got this knee injury. I got that knee injury. I got this issue and that issue. Right now, for the last, 9 months, I've got torn ligaments in both of my feet. I've got a broken fibula where the bottom of my fibula bone is chipped off. And they want me to, want to do surgery on it and put me in a boot for 3 months and have me bedridden for a month. And I just can't, do that. So I'm trying to heal it on my own. And every now and then I feel guilty or I feel bad because my foot always hurts and my leg always hurts. So I guess I have a broken leg, but it's just a big chip off the bottom of the fibula bones. It's not like a major crack. Still hurts like the dickens sometimes. And I think to myself, that's so bummed. I'm so sad about this. And then I remember the quote by Helen Keller. And she said, I felt bad because I had no shoes until I met a man who had no feet.
Yes.
So anytime we complain about a sore elbow, a hurt wrist, a sore neck, a bad back, or feet that hurt, we got to understand there are people that come back from the Middle East and they have no arms and no legs. And so what's our excuse? And I'm actually going tomorrow. I'm on a flight here in a little bit to fly back to Michigan to go to my junior high football coach's funeral, Bill McCarron. And he used to always say to us, he said, are you hurt or are you injured? Because if you're injured, we're going to take you out of the game. If you're hurt, we're just going to rub some Kramer Jezik on it. We'll tape it back up and send you back in the game. And so in life, we have to ask ourselves, are we truly injured or are we just hurt? And then sooner or later, what we got to realize is everyone that's achieved something in life, we all play hurt and we play through these injuries. And then eventually, with God's grace, we will heal.
I'm going to leave you a little bit of time to promote your new book that you're working on or that you have out. But last thing, in this country, and this is similar related to been down so long, getting up and cross my mind, but we have what's called a victim mentality. So many of us, poor me, we're the victim. How can we change that mindset? I mean, individually, especially, one by one, we have to do it. Any tips on how to get out of that mindset?
Well, first off, I believe that destiny is defined as fate. Fate is defined as the supposed force that predetermines all events. And when you create your own destiny and you make a decision that you are the captain of your ship, you are the victor of your life, then you become an unstoppable force of power. So it's a decision that we got to make. And that decision is no matter what, we're going to get it done. It's not the bank account. It's not the level of experience. It's not the education. It's not the job opportunities. It's not any of these things. Henry Ford said it best, whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. So we need to reprogram our mind as to what's possible in life instead of listening to all the negative Nancys and the doubtful Daves that are just, humming and humming. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it happen. So again, it comes back to how do you spend your time? You can invest your evenings and weekends in reading books, listening to podcasts, going to workshops and listening to master classes, or we can waste time watching TV. And so the choice is ours. When you invest in yourself, that's the single greatest dividend you'll ever make. I think it was Benjamin Franklin that said, when you empty your wallet or your purse into your head, it will always pay the greatest dividends.
Wonderful, wonderful. And last part, you said you're a life coach of sorts as well. Life coaching, what's that about, and how can that help a person?
Well, I do writing coaching, publishing coaching, book marketing coaching, but a lot of what I do is I just do life coaching, help people get a better job, help them start their business, help them find out maybe what they're addicted to. I'm a recovering sugaraholic, so it doesn't have to be this or that. It can be food, it can be sugar, it can be whatever. And so I just help people and I ask them, if you knew you could not fail, what are your dreams, goals, and visions? What did you want to do when you were 5 and 10 years old? They're like, well, I wanted to do this, but. And I'm like, no, let's get rid of the buts. You can still be that finely tuned athlete. You can still learn to play the guitar. There's an old saying that says the difference between an amateur and a professional is the professional once started as the amateur, and they put in 10,000 hours. So we have to be willing to do what other people aren't willing to do, to put in that time to create that craft. And when you put your 10,000 hours into whatever passion that you love the most, you become an unstoppable force of power. And that's what I help coach people to do, just that.
Wonderful, wonderful. We got about 90 seconds left, Patrick. Talk about your new book. You made a tribute book to your high school football coach. Go ahead and tell us about that.
Yeah, the book is titled The Last Undefeated Season. Back in 1981, I'm right here. 1981, we had 12 guys on our team, and we took down a mighty St. Gerard Falcons team that had 80 guys on their team to finish 6-0 to win the Lansing Catholic Central Championship, and all because of our leader, Coach Bill McCarrick. And sadly, he just passed about a week and a half ago. I'm flying to Michigan today to go to his funeral on Saturday. But this man taught us it's not about the game. It's about building leaders. And once you believe in a child, Robert Brooks said the single greatest thing that we can do is believe in a child. And when we do, that child can spread their wings. Wow. So the book is Last Undefeated Season. It's out on Amazon. If you want to get a copy, go to Amazon, or you can also go to The Last Undefeated Season. And the book is a tribute to Coach Bill McCarrick's life, leadership, and legacy. And if you have anything to do with coaching of any sport whatsoever, this is a must-read book.
Wow. As always, Patrick Snow, you come through in a big, big way. I really appreciate it, man. You've really kicked this new year off great for us and for everybody out there listening. I hope you all taking heed and really put a lot of these things to use in your life so you can have a much better life and a great 2026 as well. This is James Donaldson. Join us next week again. Thursday afternoon, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll have another great guest for you coming to you right here on Rainier Avenue Radio in Seattle. And this is James Donaldson standing above the crowd. Get out there and make your life happen. All right? See you next week.